Hello, Mystic Brew. Two mystics, probably going to talk about the Noosphere. Okay. Would you like to describe the Noosphere, Vernon?
2 or 3 years ago, we did a short video explaining the Noosphere. The Noosphere was championed, I think, in the 1880s or 60s by three different gentlemen around the world, scientists, that they theorized there had to be a collective mind or a noose sphere around the Earth. Around 2000 or 2000 and 2005, Jose Arguelles believed he had found it in the Van Allen belts. And a few years later, the scientists found the third Van Allen belt, which made more scientific sense. The Noosphere collective and was held there. 3, 1, 2, 3. So I don't think it's proven, but I think it's pretty obvious. I always quote when the people that disliked or even hated his Diana cried when she died, and they couldn't work out why they were crying. And they hated her. Some of them absolutely hate the royal family, whatever. They hated her, yet they cried. And that was because the Noosphere had was rampant with that, and they went along with it. They had no choice. And the controllers have known, or whoever you want to call them, the Wers, have known that they can also keep the narrative to themselves and out the narrative, the press or the internet, etc. They could use the Noosphere in different forms. But when we went into what I call it stage, from the technosphere to the Noosphere, which basically was really, they believe, formulated when the Twin Towers were hit. That was the pinprick, the technosphere, the finish into the balloon, the pinprick into the balloon. The Noosphere was able to get started. And this is all in templates. Progressively as we evolve, at the moment with the Noosphere being in such a massively, it's never been where it is at the moment. People are quietening their minds, they're learning how to be quiet, or they're learning not to stress kids being home, not meant to be normally, all these different equations. But definitely people that are noospheric diving or partake in the Noosphere knowingly, consciously. Yourself would be one, I would be another, and there's many I know. They're in pretty good shape because you are the Noosphere. At the end of it all, we are the Noosphere. We're the micro of it. We're in it, and that know their own mind is phase as well to connect with the Noosphere, of course. We're all in it. I cannot remember the three different gentlemen that postulated that it was the Noosphere was there. I think one was French, one was German or Austrian, and one was elsewhere.
Yeah, I think there's an aspect of the Noosphere that we can find in the Van Allen radiation belts because they're kind of part of the outer atmosphere. And everything that's atmospheric is part of Gaia.
Yes.
So there's a certain protective agency from those Van Allen belts, kind of protecting the Noosphere. I feel that the noose is both galactic and, in our case on Earth, is very specific to our planet and Gaia Sophia, because she's the one who gave us her noose, or the pleroma. Our noose is their noose. They give us their ability to cognate and apprehend who they are because we are an aspect of them. And so there would be a very good communication if the two aspects of each other couldn't communicate well.
Well, there's a lot happening at the moment. There's a lot of young ones and older ones as well that are looking back into some of these old scientists, not just Tesla, but some of these old scientists. And even though Jose Aguas wasn't a scientist, he chose to map it out. He mapped these things out. He was incredibly too far ahead of his time, you know. For instance, when the 441 base matrix, 21 by 21 grid, now that the drain spell was 13 by 20, 13 squares down by 13 across by 20 down, 13 energies by the archetypes. When he bought in, or when he downloaded, this is new, it's not old material, you know, you've never seen it before. He knew that he's downloading Noosphere, the templates. He put it into a format of going from the bottom right-hand corner, going around the 20 to the middle, which was 441 in the middle. And he automatically knew, because the information along with it was 12 times 12, 144. The new age is the 21st archetype. 21 times 21 is 441. So it was actually the mathematical backwards, new time. So we go from 144 to 441. It was like, he automatically did it like that. But a mathematician, and I think it was in Canada, it might have been America, but he also downloaded it. You know, he wasn't a spiritual dude, but he downloaded it all the same. And he automatically got it and went from 1, and he just went like we normally would, 1 to 441 on the bottom. You know, that's because he wasn't able to spiritually identify it. Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. That happened at the same time. So he was so surprised, apparently, when he somebody else also downloaded it. And now today, like the young ones that use it, going back to look at it now, 10 years later, I suppose, and try and see how I can work with it now as we all evolve and that, you know, now it might be easier. They think so, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, this is a time, you know, that I'm calling correction. We're like in a correction phase. And that's
Well, I'm on my 3rd or 4th day without a shave. I'm relaxing. All my friends at work, etc., are on holiday now. They're not allowed to work. I was already on holiday for 3 weeks, so I'm relaxing into it. I'm really just enjoying. Usually, when I see people that are stressed or stressing about the virus or whatever, I'd be really worried and I'd try and help. But unless they're out of their mind completely, it's a process, and I'm allowing it. I see the two worlds are merging. I don't see it as a correction. I see it as just moving and transmutating into the next phase where we all get to move a level. By the way, it's happening at this moment. We get to move. The Noosphere can accommodate it, is accommodating it, and don't have to be some spiritual guru or know your own mind or anything. It don't matter. Just gone to there. Might have killed you a year ago, or some people, but not going to matter now. You know, might have blown your mind a year ago, but now it's like it's okay. And that collective, but just the gentleness, you can feel it. You know, we both talked yesterday about things that we've moved through, that we're revisiting of the onion in a gentle and loving way, or just looking at different aspects. Just doing a wee bit of cleaning up. Maybe that's where there is a bit of, as you said, cleaning up maybe. But it's just too gentle. It's just, oh God, it's just another thing we spoke of yesterday and again before we came on was I knew we'd be at this stage sooner or later. It was going to happen, you know, was what's happening at the moment with the mind, the collective mind. And I thought I'd have so much to talk about. But I haven't. I'm just happy. I can't
That's
hear
where I'm
you.
at. That's where I'm at. I mean, I even, you know, I was at a meeting that I have weekly, and earlier today, and I found myself having to almost make conversation because my normal flow was going, but it never really was turning so much into words. You know, it was almost as if like I'm at like at so much peace. I don't even want to talk a whole lot about certain. I don't know. I'm experiencing the same thing. It is a real sense of peace, and I shared that. I mean, I'm somebody. Oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing real good. You know, and whatever. And next thing, next thing I know, they were, well, I'm experiencing this, and I'm experiencing. You know, they're having a bad time. Bye for now. They didn't want to hear. Like in words, you know, you would think you ask somebody how they're doing, and they say, "Oh, I'm doing real good."
Mm.
You know, I mean, I'm happy to hear that, but you know, and then it was like, "Bye for now." It was like, I've, it's people are dealing with this differently, and I wouldn't consider this to be one of my more higher consciousness friends, but neither are they. You know, they have a fairly good balance about them, but it's just, but I just really like right now. I mean, I'm almost guarded about who I tell how good I feel because
Well,
there can be envy.
well, at the moment, um, I wrote a couple of things on top in the One Truth Forum. I wrote a couple of things on ATS, White House Q thread, but it's so hard to put into words. But Matt Kahn, who put out a video yesterday, had his own mind blown. He gave a talk which was videoed, and we get to watch it. I think it's an hour and a half long. But he explained it best because he was in the moment. He said the energy of this whole room, I don't know, probably people there, um, that you're experiencing at the moment is you're dead, but you haven't left your body. That's the energy that's happened today. I never expected it. I never wanted it. So I'm experiencing it just like you are. I haven't watched the whole video. I just had to go to sleep in the end last night. So I've got 20 minutes to go. But he stopped off and on for over a minute in the video, going, whoa, feel that. Now, to me, that was a noosphere. What we're experiencing is what he brought into the event. When two or more are gathered in thy name, and his events are pretty special, but it blew his mind. And that's to me, that's us being able to see the noosphere, what's happening in action in real time. So if you get a chance, Moddy, have a quick look at it, even if you skim through. It's very impressive if you want to understand out there a bit better at the moment. I'm finding it hard to convey into words. But Matt Kahn's latest one, we put it in the links or in the comments like I usually do.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people will get it, especially the shamanic mystic types. They'll just sit there, they'll feel the energy. At the 55-minute, 55-second mark, I had to stop it 3 times, and then I went, I better have a look and see what the time on that is. And it was 5555. And I was like, I can't even remember what it was, but I marked that, and I've got to remember that. I was just like, wow, that explains it all for me in that few seconds. We'll put that in the comments. Yeah, we're in special times. I have empathy for those that are running around like headless chickens, and there's a few of them.
Oh
But
yeah.
on the whole, it's not happening like that. But people sitting with their own minds is happening.
Mm-hmm.
They might try and portray calm for as long as possible before they burst. But those boils have to be lanced. So we need to give our blessings.
Yeah, even tonight, I'm finding myself very quiet, almost like the last time we spoke. You know, I mean, there's just this is something to feel into and
Mm.
experience.
I've found 2 or 3 of the meditations, and I'm doing 2 or 3 meditations a day because I can.
Mm-hmm.
And one meditation, it was like, get up, go get a coffee, go outside.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, what you're doing at the moment, be just as good in the waking state, having a cup of coffee outside.
Yes.
Listen to the birds. That's saying something. To me, that's saying a lot.
I made myself a dinner last week during one of our warm nights, and it was starting to get dark. I was like, "Oh, will this be cooked?" And I got out just before I got finally, and I took a little chair and I put a little plate, a piece of wood on it, so I could put my bowl on it. And I just sat out and watched this, the final sun setting, and got up while I could still see where my bowl was, and it was just so beautiful. And with the
And
spring here, I opened the door. There's just so many birds singing. I mean, it's like, it's a lot. It's beautiful.
what, there's a lot of people wondering what's going to happen now. There's a lot of people in fear that think their governments are going to take over, and there's some nefarious governments around the world that probably will take advantage of their people.
Yeah. I for one, am happy where I live, because I think there's a greater chance of sanity.
Mm.
I'm talking about the United States, but at least we're, being kind of in the country, not completely, but pretty rural, cow farms all over the place. And I don't know, it just I know that this wants to be an improvement. And the people, like, I don't find myself so much wondering, what are the government going to do? What are we going to do with this opportunity?
Mm.
Because, the word crisis in Chinese also means opportunity. And of course, we see the wares always trying to take a crisis and make it turn into an opportunity for themselves.
Yeah.
And, for this is, I'm not my normal loquacious self. There's words there. It's just like, nah.
Normally, Marty, you would, when we mention the wers and the putrids and the negs, or the negative side of government, you've usually got a great big list you can get from and have a good talk about quite a long time. If once you get triggered into that, and that's because we've all got it, we've all been under that for so many years, and maybe this is a lifting that we're not even giving the energy to them. Maybe that's part of the lifting.
I mean, I still see the biggest problem is not them, it's us. And
yes.
What we're content to endure for a continued comfort. Again, I cannot really speak on these subjects. I'm going to be fairly useless on this one. I just don't know how to give words to what's going on, because there's a lot going on there. And some are doing well, some are not doing well.
Well, the big thing that's coming out is, have a lot of these wers and putrids been turned already? Because they got Joe Biden up there, and some of the video clips of him, it's like everybody's saying it.
Yeah.
Like everybody's saying it. It's obvious, and yet it keeps going.
Everybody sees it. Nobody talks about it, at least not.
Yeah. Is it being done on purpose? You've got to get to that. In my mind, I've got no choice but to go to that place of, it's become so obvious. Like, I've been told, and I feel that they just dissipate. They just go, Hillary Clinton and all of those, they just slowly go away, and we don't even hear about them again. And I've had that for a few months now, and it's starting to happen. And I do believe when you get the Joe Biden up there, and it's you feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Even with all that they assume that he's done, you still feel sorry for him, and yet it carries on. It's incredible.
It is. I mean, the last two clips I saw of him, which came out in the last like 2 or 3 days. I think one was yesterday, maybe one the day before. I mean, you have to. I mean, you would have to me. You have to be real despicable. I mean, even though, like, again, I'm not saying he's a good guy at all, but my own humanity, seeing. I mean, like, like, why are they making this man do this? This is. I mean, what is going on?
I think I just get this feeling that they've been turned. You don't do that. You know, your party wouldn't allow you to carry on. People around you, you know. So I do. There's a part of me that sits there and goes, are they trying to get as many people to wake up in as many different ways? You know, like if you're a supporter of Nancy Pelosi, sooner or later you're going to look at yourself, aren't you, and go, what am I supporting her for? That's just obviously not nice. Or Biden as well, you know. But for Biden, it's just like he's not there.
Yeah, I mean, it's concerning, but it is what it is. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is.
Do you think America's going to be back to work before Easter?
I know that is certainly the desired result, by what I would consider to be the responsible ones, because again, there's responsibility and there's panic, and so and actually, to me, I actually see that as that's actually an extension, because the day I saw before, he was saying by the end of, when the 15 days were up, which means like March 31st, March 30th, that's when the official 15 days is up. And he was looking at trying to have it open then. And I think everybody went so hysterical over that he went by Easter, because that's almost like another 2 weeks. Yeah, I think, doing the right thing at this time, doing the correct thing, is going to be tricky, because there is an attempt to make much more of this than it is, and what it is to make worse in any number of ways. This is this is a quiet war for the Noosphere, really.
Well, the 4 a.m. narrative, you've spoken on that before, how the 80% of the news in the world is owned by one corporation, Vanguard, etc. And they have a 4 a.m. narrative for the world. I've never been able to find out whether New Zealand starts with New Zealand, but it must be the 4 a.m. narrative, either in London City, Vatican City, or Washington, D.C.
Or Langley, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Or probably several, but I don't know where the 4 a.m. talking point starts from. What country? Yeah. So they have been controlling, to a certain point, the narrative, and through that, the nuance.
Yeah.
And they've been losing grip on that for a long time, because a lot of people haven't said anything. You haven't been able to poll them, engage them. They're just taking it on, going, yeah, she deleted 33,000 emails, but I still like her and I'm going to support her. And but with all the other information that even on the mainstream TV is coming, they've gone off that person completely. But they're not going in, you can't poll them. So I do believe there's a massive chunk of humanity, not just in America, but elsewhere as well, that are seeing they're wise enough to see what's what. And now it's going to start, those numbers are going to come into effect, because they've actually got more time to research, more time to look after themselves. Looking after your body, looking after yourself is the most important thing.
Yes.
In these times. And it's like, now we can do something for ourselves. It has to start with yourself. It has to start with yourself. We've got all this time. and things that aren't right, we might be able to do something about it now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say, oh, next week. It's like, oh, now.
Yeah, we've got nothing else to do. Let's do this.
And exploring. So a lot of people are in comfortable places. They're comfortable. And that can stop growth. Good to be comfortable. It's good to grow and evolve and have passions go into it. And that, when you lose that and you just become comfortable, it can be a very dodgy place. So a lot of people, I feel, are going to move out of comfortable, even though it's meant to be a good thing. A lot of healthy things in our lives. A lot of people are going to move out of comfortable this process. And the Noosphere is just going to keep getting gentler and more loving, more resting. And when we do get back to work, as they say, all different Noosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to carry a bullshit meter around with you. Whoever you are, it's just going to sound not right, but it's going to sound right. And people are going to start moving into something only when it's in alignment for them. There's a wee bit out of alignment. No, I won't do that. It was something that Matt Kahn spoke of as well, about being in alignment. If it doesn't feel right, why do it? It doesn't feel right, but it means your heart's not in it and not going to enjoy the experience, most likely. Let's allow God, the universe, to help. Keep knocking on doors, but let's allow God to help here. Universe to do what it naturally does. We don't have to do much.
Right.
We just have to have that intent, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Let be and
natural
let
noose
God.
wants to be creative. The noose will always be creative if you're feeding into it. I mean, you may be really comfortable, but then you realize you have some ideas that are waiting to get out, and you can't be comfortable within your head when they belong out in the world.
Oh, this is it.
And that's just a beautiful. That's to me, that's a sacred form of discomfort, because it's letting you know you're stagnating. It's like, don't, once again, enjoy the comfort and be creative.
Comes down to time. Time is not money. Time factored by energy is art. You would use the word creative. It's like, that's the one, because we've got time. Now we've got time. Time isn't money. Time is factored by energy is art.
Yeah.
Our creative abilities. So you're going to have, your mind is going to be released because it's connecting to the Noosphere in a stronger way. All of a sudden you'll have all these ideas. Oh, I might start a business around something I love doing, or whatever. Creativity is going to be off the charts. And that's going to move humanity once again in a totally new direction. So I'm so excited. And as I said, I thought there'd be so much I'd want to talk about, and just happy. Happy.
That's a pretty good message.
Yeah, just happy. Because we have weight. God's sake. Now I've got teachers that are dead. And they knew these times were coming.
Mm-hmm.
They can come back. Some children again now, but it's like they knew this time was coming. It's programmed in us, and we're in it. We get to experience it. We get to experiment, because that's what it is. That's creativity, experiment.
That's right.
And I do with this collective mind I'm part of. Getting the cries every so often. It's been a while for me to actually just be in the moment and sing a bird on a fence and have a wee tear. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's happening a wee bit more for me of late. But I said, just to be at that moment with yourself, nature. Yeah.
Well, you've just started. I mean, you cut out a little bit earlier in the thing, but then it was good for most of this, and you're starting to cut out again. So maybe we should say goodbye.
Bye-bye. I love you.
Us untalkative mystics.
The untalkative mystics.
All right, everybody. So that'll be our hello, the mystic hello. And well, see you next time.